Good morning.
Yeah.
I think this is our best Dreamforce yet. So thank you so much for that. And Dreamforce is all about innovation. It's about fun, and it's about giving back. And we have so much innovation happening with our partners in the Cloud Expos. How many of you guys have attended the Cloud Expo so far? Yeah. Incredible, incredible innovation. So if you haven't gone to the Cloud Expos, please visit Moscone North and West. Check it out. There's so much incredible innovation. But we've brought some of that innovation on stage. So I'd like to bring up our first partner to talk about what they're doing. Please welcome back to Dreamforce, Ross Piper of Dropbox. Ross, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, Lynn.
So great to have you.
It's great to be here again.
Well, congratulations on your new announcement and your new app. Tell us more about it.
Sure. So 300 million people use Dropbox, and over 80,000 businesses have used Dropbox for Business. So it's natural that most of those 80,000 are also running their business on the Salesforce customer success platform. So they've asked us for a long time to bring those two clouds together. And so we're really excited to announce our new app, which allows you to access your entire Dropbox from within Salesforce.
That's
It
awesome.
also allows you to attach any files to objects, so your accounts, your contacts, your opportunities, so you can have the right information right in the context of the way people sell. And then on top of that, of course, it means it's all available on the Salesforce One mobile platform.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's just incredible.
please
I'm
welcome
a huge Dropbox user. Anyone else in the house? Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. So what's next?
Well, one of the most exciting things that customers have done with our platform is they've created 1.2 billion connections. So they're really using it to connect with each other, with other companies, with other individuals to be more productive and get more work done. So we're really investing to try to enable that and allow more and more sharing and collaboration inside company boundaries, with customers, with partners, and really across the ecosystem. And working with Salesforce to make that meaningful in the Sales Cloud is really important for us.
That's just awesome. Thank you so much, Ross, and thanks for joining us here again at Dreamforce. Great
Thanks,
to
Lynn.
see you. All right. Next up, two companies I use all the time. Please join me in welcoming Brian Frank from LinkedIn and Keith Kroc, CEO of DocuSign. Come on up, guys. Good to see you again. I got to say, Keith's team made this awesome video getting ready for Dreamforce. It was just really, really cool. Lots of fun. All right, so Brian, tell me how you're using DocuSign today.
Well, thanks for the question. We use DocuSign across the business, and we were actually the very first DocuSign for Salesforce user back in 2008. And I was actually walking through the floor there today with some of the amazing exhibitors, and I found out that 90% of the people on the floor are using, and the sponsors for Dreamforce are using DocuSign today for sales.
Wow.
So I felt very vindicated about
That's always good.
choice. But we use it across the business. We're using it in HR. We use it in sales. We use it in legal. We use it in finance. And for those of you who don't know, Salesforce is a huge DocuSign user as well. I think 50 different use cases is what I heard from the Salesforce folks that they use DocuSign internally. And it helps us to drive a tremendous amount of value in terms of saving money in transactional cost, in getting deals closed faster, in saving money associated with pulling more data in, getting information to us faster. But also, when we survey our team, we find out that people just love it. Our salespeople love DocuSign. It just really validates for them that really painful process of closing a contract and getting it done. When you have visibility
Makes
to
it so easy.
it's huge. So we love we love it, and it's a great partnership.
It's huge. And Keith, tell us what's next at DocuSign. I mean, we were just talking about how we're using it, you're using it, everyone's using it. It makes our lives as salespeople and any function in the organization so much easier. What's next for you guys?
Well, thank you so much, Lynn, and thank you, Brian. We are continuing to focus on our mission of building out the DocuSign Global Trust Network. And if you think about it, we are focused in three key areas. The first, in terms of our customers. So now we have 120,000 companies that are customers. 40 million unique users. We're putting 50,000 unique users on a day in 188 countries. And the things that really are whipping the winds for us is this tremendous ROI in terms of productivity savings in terms of time to close a deal. The second thing in terms of the customers is that great customer experience. So companies like Robert Half took their NPS score from -3 to 58, one of the biggest onboarding companies in the world. And then the third thing is reducing risk in terms of security and compliance. So for example, at T-Mobile, they've rolled DocuSign out in their 3,000 retail stores. You can go right across the street over here. And to be able to have that audit trail of who signed what, when, and where. So it's really that customer value proposition that's driving it. And the second thing is our focus in terms of industries. So now 13 of the top 15 wealth management companies have rolled out and standardized on DocuSign. 19,000 financial advisors at Merrill Lynch, 14,000 at Morgan, 11 of the top 15 insurance carriers. So that focus on, and we're a verb in the real estate business. I think everybody knows that. But now we're focused on countries. So we just announced a couple of weeks ago a deal with Telstra in Australia, where not only are they rolling it out internally, but they'll be reselling the DocuSign platform to all the SMBs, so we're able to reach. We also just announced this week strategic investment by NTT, Mitsui, Recruit.com, a $19 billion software company in Japan. We just acquired a 150-person company in Brazil that's leaders in this technology. So it is about allowing anybody to transact anything, anytime, anywhere on any device securely.
Well, your growth has just been phenomenal, and I just want to thank both of you for coming to Dreamforce and being a sponsor and a great partner. So thank you guys so much for coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thanks. Thanks so much. So it's partners like these that make Salesforce the largest cloud ecosystem in the world. So thank you to you guys, and also thank you to all of our partners out there. All right. Yesterday, Mark introduced us to the customer success platform, sales, service, marketing, community, analytics, and apps, all on one platform so that all of you can connect with your customers in a whole new way. And we just have an incredible day of innovation planned. I am so excited about our Sales Cloud. How many here are excited about Sales Cloud today? Woohoo! Woohoo! And we all know in sales that the most important asset is your time. And so I couldn't be more excited about Sales Cloud One, which helps you sell smarter, it helps you sell faster. It's just really game-changing. But before we introduce Sales Cloud, my favorite slide of all, you guys know what's coming next, right? You know what's on tap. So Salesforce is a publicly traded company. I'd like to remind you that you will see some forward-looking statements today. Please make all of your purchase decisions based on currently available technology. And you can find all this information up on our beautiful website at salesforce.com. All right. You guys ready for some Sales Cloud? You guys ready for some Sales Cloud? You guys ready to sell smarter and sell faster? All right, let's take a look.
Take my hand and come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. I say you look so fine that I really want to make you mine.
the EVP of Sales Cloud and my dear friend, Linda Crawford. Woohoo!
Thank you, Lynn. Thanks, Lynn. Well, it's just wonderful to be here with all of you this morning. I had a great time yesterday presenting in the keynote, but I have to say that today is really my favorite day at Dreamforce because today I get to talk to you about my real passion, which is sales. You know, we are so happy and fortunate to have so many of our wonderful customers here in the room today, and I want to congratulate each of you for selecting the world's #1 sales application to run your sales organization. You know, the Sales Cloud has been recognized by Gartner for the 8th year in a row as the leader in SFA. And IDC gives the credit to the Sales Cloud as the market share leader. But the only true measure of being #1 is having successful customers. That's what it's really all about. That's the passion that we bring to building this product each and every day. And I just want to say that we want to be your trusted partner always and every day on your journey to connect with your customers in a whole new way. Well, if today is my favorite day of Dreamforce, I have to say that this day, the day that we bring our MVPs here to a summit, is my second favorite day of the year. And it's because these MVPs do so much for our community. Do we have some MVPs here today? I know they're really busy. Stand up if you're an MVP. There's probably a couple of them. It's a really select group of people, about 139 of them around the world. And we select them amongst all of you. And they're your voice. These MVPs answer 40% of all of the questions that you post, all the answers, 40% of them are answered by the MVPs. 40 sessions here at Dreamforce have been led by the MVPs. And 7% of all the brand mentions for Salesforce on Twitter are because of these MVPs. So I just want to say thank you, everyone. Let's give these people a big round of applause because they're such an important part of our community. Now, it's my goal and my team's goal to make sure that we connect to you, not just here at Dreamforce, but throughout the year. And I'm excited to tell you about one of my favorite things that we've done this year, which is to build a sales community. You know, we are oftentimes giving you so much information about the product, but it's important for us to also give you ideas on how you can evolve your sales processes. So the sales community is a thought leadership community, and I want all of you to check it out. It's really an important part of our strategy now with the Sales Cloud. I also want to call out some very special companies who will be receiving awards tonight at our 2nd annual Surfboard Awards. And these companies are being honored for everything that they're doing in so many innovative ways to accelerate sales within their company. And the great thing about this is that all of their stories are going to be shared with you so that you can learn about what they're doing. Now, when I joined Salesforce 8 years ago, a colleague said to me, "Be prepared to be hugged by a customer." And I thought, there is no way that is going to happen coming from my previous employer. But sure enough, at the first event I attended, 3 customers gave me a huge hug and said, "Thank you, we love your product." And, you know, it's the motivation by so many of you, the motivation behind you referring Salesforce that we're so appreciative of. And today, I want to announce this new program, Refer Salesforce. So if you ever refer Salesforce, I'd love for you to be rewarded for doing that for us. So Refer Salesforce, new program, check it out. Now, it's your love for the product that pushes us harder and harder to innovate each and every day. And I love this slide. I love presenting this. Over 120,000 idea exchange points were retired this year. A really great one, dupe alerts and blocking. The #2 idea gone this year. Contacts on multiple accounts, custom lookups on activities. These are some of the ones that I know people in the room are really passionate about. So I'd love for all of you to give our product team a great round of applause for everything they're doing to make you more successful. But it's not just that. It's not just 3 new features that we retired. We've done a lot this year. And I'm so excited about forecasting. We've doubled down on that. It's rocking now. Territory management is enterprise and all brand new. We have doubled down on work.com. Skills and coaching are really important. We've done more and more with Microsoft and so much more. Well, I know a lot of you come for the demos and the presentations, but you also come for this slide because you want to know what we're doing. Competitors, get out your cameras. This is what we're doing. We are bringing a new desktop experience. We are going to bring Geo right into every part of the application. We are doing more with forecasting, even some new industry applications that we're bringing. Of course, we're going to work more and more closely with Microsoft. And you saw the Analytics Cloud yesterday, but I want to make sure that you know that we also are doing a lot with reports and dashboards. So I'm excited to get the show started, to talk about where sales is headed, and to give you a glimpse into everything that we've done this year. It's my pleasure to introduce my colleague, my friend, Mark Wolin.
All right. Thank you very much, Linda. All right. Good morning, everybody. I want to begin with one word. Exponential. And I choose this word because, you know what, every year here at Dreamforce, we get together. And myself, you heard it from Linda, the entire product team on Sales Cloud, we get so pumped up to share with you all the new capabilities that we're delivering in the Sales Cloud this year. But this year, what we're delivering, we believe, is so much bigger than anything that's come before that it will drive exponentially greater levels of productivity, exponentially greater levels of understanding of your customers and your sales, and exponentially deeper and more meaningful levels of engagement with your customers, your partners, and your employees. And all that will help foster this ability to connect in a whole new way, which is what we're talking about here at Dreamforce this week. But what we believe it'll also help accomplish is what we've heard so much from you over the years is so important to you, which is how can you help grow your sales faster than ever before. Now, one other thing that I reflect on a lot over the last year, really actually many years, as I speak with so many of you as I go out on the road throughout the year, is that there are certain things about sales that are seemingly universal. It's almost as if they haven't changed. At its core, sales is about connecting. And, I think back just to my own experiences, back to 1995. In 1995, I was in OEM sales at an enterprise software company. And I had most of my customers here in the Bay Area, but I had one customer. It was actually my most important customer, my fastest growing customer, and they were hiring so many executives at such a rapid clip. And they were based down in Southern California. They were in Santa Monica. And so I had to go down there. I wanted to go down there, every week. I was down there at least one, oftentimes 2 days a week. And while I was down there, because they were so important to me, I didn't also at the same time want to ignore the needs of my customers back here in San Francisco. But if I'm down in LA, this is a long time ago. How can I be connected instantaneously to my customers back in the Bay Area? Well, what did I do? I turned to technology to transform how I could connect. I turned to technology to get an edge. Now, back then, this is almost quaint to think about what technology was. My technology secret sauce then was 1 part giant, gray, heavy Toshiba laptop that I hauled everywhere. But my real secret was this brick-sized radio modem made by a company that doesn't exist anymore. It's called Ricochet. This radio modem was amazing at the time. Had a blazing 18K speed. That was like a third of the speed of the dial-up that I had at home. But why did I lug all this kit with me everywhere? Why did I sprawl it all out over a cafe table on the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica? Looking like kind of a dork, I must add. Well, it was kind of simple. The reason I did it was it gave me an edge. It allowed me to connect to my customers, even the ones back here in San Francisco, so that, if they had a critical licensing question, if they had a technology question that they couldn't address on their own successfully and they needed a timely response, if they needed help getting a deal across the finish line, I could address their needs and connect to them immediately. It didn't have to wait until I got back to the hotel that night or, worse yet, back home to San Francisco the very next morning. And I reflect on that experience from 19 years ago, and it's ever more true today. Technology has raced ahead. It continues to transform how we connect, and we see examples of this in so many different industries. If we look at old world versus new world. Old world retail. You go into a department store, you work with a personal shopper, and they may be an incredible personal shopper. And as good as they are, they can deal with maybe hundreds of clients like yourself. Whereas if you flash forward to today, and you look at this new cloud, mobile, social world that innovative retailers like the Trunk Club and men's clothing have focused on, well, a personal shopper at the Trunk Club using a mobile sales solution built on the Sales Cloud, they know everything instantaneously about every one of their clients, recent shipment, preferred colors, sizes, so much more. And it also empowers them to be able to work with not merely hundreds of clients, but thousands of clients. That's an exponential gain in productivity. Think about transportation, like in a hyper-local sense. Transportation, I remember, like back in 1995, and not that long ago it seems, when I worked late at the office at night and I couldn't catch Muni home, what did I do? I picked up my phone and I dialed 626-4444. And I went downstairs, stood on the sidewalk, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited some more. It was like waiting for Godot. Well, now, what do I do now? Well, now I work late, and I pick up my phone, but I open my app. I open my Lyft app. And when I open that Lyft app, some pretty amazing things happen. One, I request a ride. Almost immediately, a driver acknowledges and accepts me as a passenger. And furthermore, there's deep understanding of, I know who that driver is. I can see other passengers and how they've rated that driver, so I get a sense for the experience I'm going to see. And furthermore, since it's mobile, you've got location-based capabilities built in there. So you know what? As I see the car getting close, then I can go downstairs to the sidewalk. And the driver knows where I am and knows where to meet me. It's so seamless. So seamless, in fact, that when I get to my destination, payment is a cinch. That's an exponentially new and more meaningful level of understanding that's underlying all of that. And if you even look, I think, at like health and wellness, like fitness, for example, think about the old world. The old world in health and wellness and fitness, you know what you might do? You would go to a gym. And by the way, I think we should still go to the gym in like the new world. I wouldn't dissuade anybody from going to a gym. But, we go to a gym, and I used to go and see a personal trainer. Maybe not as much anymore. But I used to go see a personal trainer like once a week. And that was like, that day with my personal trainer was like magic. It was so impactful to me. But that was like one day a week. Think about today with wearables, like a Fitbit. It's on your wrist, it's on your phone. Every step you take, every move you make, every calorie that you intake, yeah, it's watching you. It is. And what it's doing is it's letting you know how you're doing and achieving your goals. It's coaching you. And if you're just a little bit shy when you get home at night from the number of steps you need to take, or if you're thinking about maybe getting that little ice cream and you're right on the borderline of how many calories you set for yourself for your target, it lets you know. And actually, as you start to achieve targets and exceed targets, it even recommends to you new targets to set for yourself. This whole new dimension to productivity, intelligence, and engagement, this is what so many of you have been really asking for us to deliver. And it's what a lot of you are trying to basically incorporate for your own sales organizations, for your very own salespeople. This is what we keep hearing you want to do. How can we tap into productivity and insight and engagement so that we can connect and grow sales faster? But there's one more thing we're also hearing, and this is another thing that seems almost universal to me over the years, is certain things about being a sales rep haven't seemed to change enough. If you think about where a sales rep has to spend so much time, a lot of time goes into things that are really, if we're honest about it, they're kind of non-sales activities. These are activities related to following up on that last little bit of pricing you need to really nail that proposal. It's chasing down that guy in engineering who's helping you finalize that design so you can win the deal. And while that's all critical, that's time taken away from actually finding new customers, establishing and building on relationships with those new customers, and closing business with those new customers. And so the other thing we keep hearing from you is that you want to take time and the behavior of your sales reps as they use the time they have and shift that behavior. So instead of doing non-sales activities, they can focus so much more of their energy and time on things that are truly core to sales, like understanding who your best customers are, growing business on the backs of those new customers, tapping into the real potential for growth, which is new customers, finding them, connecting to them, and closing business with them. So what if we could do that? What if we could actually grow our accounts faster, find new customers faster, close deals with those customers faster? And by the way, what if we could even do it from anywhere, including the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica? Well, I'm very happy to say that now, with everything we've done in the Sales Cloud this year, now you can. We are now rolling out a totally reimagined Sales Cloud, the Sales Cloud you know and love, but for this new hyper-productive world that everybody needs to work in. Sales Cloud 1, reimagined so that every rep and every business can grow your sales faster. We have done this by delivering a whole new set of consumer-inspired sales productivity applications so you can sell faster. We've also, with everything you've seen with the Analytics Cloud and so much more, what we've done is we've empowered organizations and every rep, everyone, democratized access to information, can now sell smarter. And because everything we've done is built on the Salesforce One Lightning platform, which is mobile first from the outset, well, now, whether it's on your phone or your tablet, your desktop, for that matter, your smartwatch, you know what? Now you can do it from any device in a seamless manner from anywhere. It makes every rep, we believe, fully unstoppable. Now, I think one of the best ways to really start to get an appreciation for this is to experience it through what one of our customers is doing. We have an incredible customer that's joining us here at Dreamforce this week, and so now we'd like to share this story with you, the story of Zero Motorcycles.
I find myself trying to explain electric motorcycles to my buddies that I've been riding with for years, and you just can't. You just say, here's the keys, go ride it.
There's no gas involved, there's no oil to change, there's no maintenance. You have no idea what you're about to experience.
It's the ultimate luxury vehicle. It's effortless.
Our customers' reaction when they first get off the bike is simply wow.
Zero Motorcycles is setting out to be the premier electric motorcycle company in the world.
Every year we're looking to grow revenue by 100%. That's why we need a platform that can grow with us.
We hope that everybody who buys our bike has a great experience with the product. But to be a world-class brand, everything else has to work. Every other touch point that a customer has with you has to be first class. And that's what Salesforce has enabled us to do. Before Salesforce, we had not been the easiest company to do business with.
There were many pain points, okay, but the majority of it had to do with communication.
A lot of papers flying around, spreadsheets getting lost.
Our dealers had to send in a paper-based card. We'd literally stand next to the fax machine waiting for those warranty registrations. How can you be a high-tech company and not deliver a high-tech experience?
If we didn't get these things right, we would have people walking away from us.
Our dealers wanted us to be easier to do business with. We had 3 disparate systems that we asked our dealers to use. One for customer service, one on the sales side, one on the marketing side. Using Salesforce enables us to put that all together into a single framework and truly deliver that simple, easy-to-use experience.
What Salesforce has done for Zero and for me and for the dealers is to take away so many of the pain points. It's very addictive. It's on my phone, it's on my iPad, it's on my computer. Every morning when I wake up, the first thing that I look at are the leads that come in. So all the information that I need to operate on a day-to-day basis is at my fingertips.
It makes me much more efficient. The little stuff gets taken care of quickly so I can take care of the big stuff.
It just makes it easier for us to follow up and touch base, make sure we're on top of things.
This is what's so powerful about the mobile app, right? Because it's there all the time. It doesn't matter where I am. It gives you a tremendous amount of power.
Salesforce opens opportunities for us that we didn't even know existed. From the time that somebody looks at an ad, we actually track that person from the time that they click into our Salesforce database so that we can refine our advertising and be much more competitive.
And our goal here is to get you to commit to us to go into a dealership and do a test ride. That's it.
If we get those butts in seats, we're going to sell a motorcycle. And so specifically, the Sales Cloud enables that process.
Compared to where we were, I mean, it's a night and day shift.
Now, as long as we stay focused, we have the right partners, we use the right technology, I think we're going to keep growing, and we're going to keep growing at a very rapid rate.
We're new and disruptive. Salesforce is certainly disruptive, and it's a way to just pull the technology together to provide a premium experience.
I think the work we're doing with Salesforce is exactly what we need to do.
The power of the Sales Cloud is huge. How could I live without it if it was turned off and taken away from me today? I couldn't. I would just seize up.
That I love almost anything that has wheels, and those Zero motorcycles are just insanely great. It is the future of motorcycles, and so to dive into Zero motorcycles in more detail and what they're doing to connect in a whole new way. Please join me in welcoming the CEO of Zero Motorcycles, Richard Walker. Oh, yes, I love it. All right, Richard, how you doing?
Mark, good.
Thanks for coming to Dreamforce. So, I'm curious. So the motorcycle, I think it's been around since 1901. There's a lot of history there. There's an existing industry. What are the challenges that Zero faces in going into such an established industry? How do you go beyond just establishing a mere foothold?
Yeah, obviously when you're introducing a new technology like an electric motorcycle, there's a lot of questions around it. So what we find is that many of the people who want to know more come to our website. They register with us. We capture their details in Salesforce. And because we sell through a network of dealers, we thought it would be appropriate to be able to send those leads directly to dealers who could answer those questions. And what we found, unfortunately, is that when we did so, and this may sound shocking to you, that over 50% of the people who held their hands up initially said they were interested in our bikes. We sent the lead off to a dealer, but 50% said they had not been contacted by the dealer within a 72-hour period, right? Which is incredible when you think about, I'm holding my hand up and a dealer decided not to contact us.
So that challenge, and I know there's some other similar, as you were starting out, how do you use Salesforce to kind of overcome that challenge?
Right, well, what we've done is instead of wasting the leads in that way, what we now do is we still capture the lead in Salesforce. We manage the lead and track it. But we've instituted a sales concierge service. So we have people inside who manage that lead, contact you via the method that you asked us to contact you, whether that be the cell phone, landline, email, answer all of your questions and get you to the point, as Mike said in that video, where you would be interested in taking a demonstration ride. And then we facilitate the relationship and handoff from us to the dealer directly. We shepherd the whole process of making sure that the demo was scheduled. Then we go back to you and ask you about your experience. How was it? How was the riding experience? How was the dealer experience? And ultimately, did you decide to buy a product or not? Okay. So we're actually now a closed-loop system, and we're touching every lead 100% of the time.
That's awesome. So now you guys, you're based here in California.
We are.
Very local.
Scotts Valley.
Love it. But you're global. You're going not just distribution here in the U.S., but worldwide. How are you able to grow at such a rapid clip? How are you able to scale?
You're right. Well, obviously, the Sales Cloud enables that. So the same systems that we operate here for North America are operated in Europe, are operated elsewhere in the globe. Clearly, Mike also talked about Salesforce One. That's been very powerful for us. And certainly, I was at the Intermot Motorcycle Show back in Germany at the end of September, beginning of October. And I was able to stand on the floor. It happened to be the end of the month. Yeah. And so I was able to stand on the floor through Salesforce One and look precisely how many bikes we'd shipped on that day against the target that we had for the day. We also released the Model Year 15 vehicles at that show, and the next day on the floor, I was able to go in through Salesforce One and see how many leads that had been generated, which countries they'd come from, and actually observe that in the course of the day, we generated more leads in that one day than we ever had in the history of the company.
That's killer.
Yeah.
I remember, we've talked about this before in terms of what your growth, kind of targets are, right. and you're looking to grow it's like 100%.
That's exactly right.
Every year.
That's exactly right.
Again, there's established competitors like Honda, Yamaha. How are you going to pull that off?
Well, we're going to do things, continue to play our own game. Obviously, electric is exciting. We're continuing to build out the community side of our portal by using knowledge and libraries, populating content, fundamentally for two reasons. One is to make it easier for our dealers and distributors to find things and be self-served, because people generally like to find things themselves as opposed to have to contact us. And we obviously are looking to be easier to do business with. As far as other things that we're doing, the marketing side of things is incredibly important. And quite frankly, a lot of our dealers are using the social media channels, whether that's Twitter, Pinterest, or whether it's Instagram. I think we need to do a better job of that. We're very excited about Radian 6 to be able to monitor the conversations that are going on around our vehicles and our technology. So that's something that we intend to do in this next period. And then one thing that we're very excited about, this bike actually has a Bluetooth connection. It connects to your app so that you can actually customize your ride, right? You can set torque, you can set maximum speed, all kinds of fun things you can do. But as a customer, if you have an issue, we now enable you to send the logs, because it's electric, send all the bike logs directly back to us as a push of a button. What happens then is that when it arrives with us, we automatically create a case that populates the VIN number, your name, your contact details, the dealer that you bought it from, the service history of the bike, so that when our service people, customer service people, click on it, they see all of that right from the outset, and it gives them the chance to ask you supplementary questions about, well, what conditions were you riding in? Was it super hot? Was it wet? Was it very cold? Just to be able to engage you straight away. And that's taken days out of the previous process. So we're very excited, and we think this is going to help us be a lot more competitive.
Richard, that's incredible. I mean, people often ask me, what do we mean when we say connect in a whole new way? What you just described is truly a whole new way. So thanks for sharing it with us here at Dreamforce. Thanks for taking time, too, because I know you've got your own dealer conference going on back in Florida this week. And congrats on all your success.
Hey, thank you.
Much more, I hope.
Thank you very much indeed.
All right, thank you, Richard.
Okay, take care.
One of the things I love about the story of Zero Motorcycles is it's about wheels, which I love, but it's also a transformational story. But underpinning that transformation are each of these things that we, again, continue to hear from you that you're trying to execute better on every year with the Sales Cloud. Being more productive from anywhere, understanding your business at a much deeper level, and being able to engage your customers, your prospects, and your employees. And if we look at each of these, there's so much we're doing with the Sales Cloud this year that we're so excited about, because it's going to be so meaningful for all of you, we believe. And if you look at what it means to be more productive from anywhere, this is still an area where, basically, there's so much that can be done. If you think about, well, actually, I see a lot of bags in the room here. You have a laptop? Take your laptop out right now and give it a hug. Just hug it. Because, according to Gartner, in a mere 14 months, 55% of all sales applications are going to be accessed exclusively through smartphones and through tablets. So what does that mean? What does that mean for us? Well, what it means is that all of a sudden, those smartphones and those tablets need to do a whole lot more for us. And as we've worked with all of you and tried to really understand what are the core things that every one of your sales reps needs to be effective, these are some of the things we see. Things like the ability for a sales rep to be able to do research and in a very efficient way about every customer they're going to call on throughout every selling day. The ability for a sales rep to have the capability to be productive in each and every person-to-person sales call, but also the calls they're doing via the phone at every one of those moments throughout their selling day. Also, every rep, we continue to hear from you, is looking for a faster, more efficient way to be able to log post-call activities. They're looking for a richer way to be able to not only capture notes for themselves, but to share those notes and make them actionable for other people on the sales team. They're looking for a way to be able to better capture and assign tasks, because every sales rep, if we think about it, they're the quarterback for the entire sales team, and in many cases, the entire customer experience. And also, of course, they're running a business, they're working a deal, and they want to be able to close the deal. So if we think about all those things that we're now saying you need to be able to do from anywhere, what does that mean for the smartphone, the humble smartphone? Well, for the humble smartphone, what it means is the smartphone needs to become more than just a smartphone. It actually needs to evolve to become a smart selling machine, so that all of that research, being efficient on every call, logging post-call activities, capturing and sharing and making actionable those notes, tasks and assigning them quickly and easily, and ensuring follow-up and closing deals. All these things now are critical elements to have a comprehensive, successful, smart selling machine. And now, I'm very happy to say that that smart selling machine is here today with these new Sales Cloud consumer-inspired productivity apps. which give every sales rep this ability and empowers them to sell faster from anywhere. We have a whole new Today application. This is like Google Now, but it's for sales reps. Every little bit of your selling day is there. Everybody you're going to be calling on, every customer. And what's also in there is a whole new news capability, so that at every meeting you have, the most current and relevant and up-to-date news on that company is automatically fed to you. We've also taken the notion of notes and we've elevated it. It is an experience in its own right. It is an app, but it's also one that's embedded in the context of the rest of Sales Cloud. So you can capture notes, share notes, make them actionable, all associated with the deals and the customers and the rest of the sales team and partners you're working with. There's a new app for events, and there's a whole new tasks app as well. And it's all available on iOS, Android, and Windows. And so, there's a lot more than that. Because what we also realize is that so many of you are saying, you have very unique needs from one sales team to the next, different sales processes you need to support. And to do that, what you want to do is you want to get to winning faster. You want to instill in all your reps the path to success. And you can do that now with the new sales path. With the new sales path, you can take any sales process, for selling something as simple as a rubber band to something as sophisticated as a semiconductor, and you can model that process inside the Sales Cloud. It's super quick and easy to design those processes, to roll them out to your sales organization. This provides every rep, whether they're very experienced or the newest sales rep, with the guidance they need to know the fastest path to winning. And it does so by eliminating the white noise that's so much a part of so many deal cycles and putting a spotlight on only the most relevant information at every stage of the sales process. And on top of all this, it continues to get better, because everything we've done here, it's built on the Salesforce One Lightning platform. And what we've done is we've put in place a device-specific experience so you can work seamlessly from your smartphone to your tablet to your laptop or desktop, including your smartwatch. And now, the only way I can really think to really bring this all home and have it come to life very vibrantly is through a demonstration. And for that, I'd like to invite my longtime friend and colleague, Will Moxley, to the stage. Will.
Thank you, Mark. So as Mark was just saying, the future of sales is mobile. And why is that? Because it makes you more productive, and it drives CRM adoption. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you some upcoming features in Salesforce One that I'm most excited about. And I'm going to do it from the perspective of Mike Garcia, a sales rep at Zero Motorcycles. Now, Mike Garcia is a field sales rep, so he's always on the go. He's always rushing from meeting to meeting, and it's hard to keep track of his day and be prepared for every meeting. But that's okay, because Mike has the Today app in Salesforce One. And the Today app, as Mark was saying, it's like Google Now for salespeople. It's like a personal assistant. It takes the context of their calendar and their location and uses it to surface the CRM data that's most relevant to them right when they need it. So for example, Mike can see the tasks that he has due today. He can see personalized news on every account he's visiting with that day. But what's most important for him right now is his next meeting with the Springfield Police Department to sell them a fleet of motorcycles. So if Mike goes ahead and clicks into that meeting, he gets a complete meeting dossier. He gets the location of the meeting. He sees CRM contact details about the attendees in the meeting surfaced right there. He can see the account information as well, and also more news on this particular customer, so he knows what's going on with their business when he meets with them. And the best part is, Mike doesn't have to go searching for these things. It's all brought together for him right there. So, before Mike joins into this meeting, he wants to quickly review the opportunity and figure out what's going on. So he goes in, and Mike's new to Zero Motorcycles, so he's still learning the sales process. He's still trying to figure out what it is he needs to do, but that's okay because Mike has Sales Path. At every stage in the sales process, Sales Path shows him what he needs to focus on and what he needs to do to advance the deal to the next stage. So Sales Path helps him close this deal faster, guides him through that process. So now that Mike's reviewed the opportunity, he knows, here's what I need to focus on. It's time to join the meeting. So Mike, in his meeting, wants to take a lot of great notes. And so let's bring up the note. So note-taking is such an important part of the sales process that we've completely reinvented the note-taking experience with the new Notes app. So let's say in the meeting that we want to reference a particular contact or customer. Salesforce recognizes that and auto-completes it for you so that it links it automatically. And I don't need to do that myself. It uses CRM context to simplify the note-taking experience. Now, also during the meeting, let's say that the customer says, hey, I need 3 references. And they also say, and I also remind myself that I need to send them a thank you note. Now, those last 2 things, are those notes or are they tasks? They're kind of both, right? They're kind of both things. And the great thing is, if I just swipe my finger on one of those, I can turn the note into a task automatically. I used to have to go back at the end of the day, review my notes, and re-enter all those tasks as follow-ups, right? I used to have to do that manually. But now, just in the context, right there, in the moment, I swipe my finger and I make a task. That's one less thing I need to do tonight. That's fantastic. So when I'm done with my note, I can share it. It's automatically shared with the opportunity, but I can go share it with my team so they know what happened. It's all right there for me. So this was my last meeting for the day. So I go back to the Today app, and the Today app changes dynamically throughout the day to surface different information. And at the end of the day, I want to know, what did I get done and what do I need to do next? So right there at the top, I see an end-of-day summary. This is giving me feedback on what I got done. It's letting me know how many tasks I completed, how many meetings I went to, how many opportunities I advanced. It's all right there. And that motivates me to do more and more every single day. And also, since it's the end of the day, I should follow up on some of those tasks, like sending that thank you note to the police department from earlier today. So where do I do my email? I do it in Outlook right here on my laptop. Now, you'll notice when I bring up Outlook that I've already got a meeting from Gordon at the police department. He's already thanking me, and he's giving me some feedback on the meeting. Now, I want to capture that inside of Salesforce. Now, what would I normally have to do? I'd have to go onto my PC, boot it up, bring up Outlook, and then log it there. But now, we've made the Salesforce side panel available right here on your iPad or on your iPhone, so that right here in the meeting, I can see CRM context about the particular email I got. And with one tap next to Gordon's name, I can log this email inside of Salesforce. So what have we done here? We've taken the world's #1 CRM application and combined it with the leading productivity suite so I can be productive and sell faster from wherever I am. Now there's one more thing I want to show you, because I know it's a top idea on the Idea Exchange. And let's say that in that meeting with the police department, there was a new contact, Janet Richards, and I want to capture her in the CRM application. Well, I go in here and I start entering the information, and before I even hit save, I get this little notice at the top that says, did you mean one of these 3 people? And I click on that, and I see 3 possible duplicates for Janet. So what just happened here? We've just prevented duplicate data from going inside of Salesforce. This is huge. Huge for CRM adoption, right? It's a really big deal. And the best part is, it doesn't just work with contacts, it works with leads, it works with accounts, it works with custom objects. And when we deliver this in spring, this is when this comes out, we'll be retiring 65,000 Idea Exchange points. You asked, and we delivered. Thank you. Back to you, Mark.
I love that. And, you know, it's amazing to see what it means to be able to, of course, sell faster. It's a great example of it. But one of the things we also heard from you is like, you know, yeah, it's great to go faster, but if you don't know where you're going and why, that's not always a good thing. So understanding your business is critical. And I don't know how many of you have ever found yourselves in this situation, but, you know, picture yourself home on a Sunday night, you check your email, and you see a note from your boss, and they're saying, hey, when you get in on Monday, I want to do a business review. Oh, what does that mean? That means, here it is Sunday night, and you got a whole bunch of questions you know you got to start answering. You know, obviously, you want to talk about your wins, but you're probably also going to have to be able to answer for your losses. Who did you lose to? Do you know why you lost? How's your overall pipeline look? How are you doing in terms of retiring your quota for the remainder of the year? And that's just the beginning. There's so many other sales questions you'll have to answer as well. Now, as you sit there Sunday night, what do you do? Is it easy to get those kind of answers? What we see typically is it's not for most salespeople. And there's a whole lot of reasons for this. I mean, one of those reasons is that, quite honestly, it's just hard to find the answer sometimes. You may not know what system to go to. There may not even be a system to go to, for that matter. But even if there is a system, the other challenge we've seen so often is that it's actually hard to get access to those answers, especially on a mobile device. But even if you can actually get answers on the mobile device, the other thing that we've often seen is a challenge for so many companies and so many salespeople is that it lacks context. It is simply data. It's not insight. And that insight comes from being embedded in where you run your business, being embedded in the Sales Cloud. And so what we're doing now this year to address this is delivering, as you know now, with the launch yesterday, the new Analytics Cloud, which works seamlessly with Sales Cloud so that every sales rep, whether it's Sunday night or any night, can get access to any data they need to better understand their business and the health of it and their customers. They can do it anytime, anywhere, because it is fully mobile from the outset, and because it's embedded where you do your work and how you run your business right in the Sales Cloud, it is fully actionable as well. Now, when I say actionable, what does that mean? Let's think about another example. Let's say you're a sales manager, and let's say maybe you're an AVP. You've got 3 regional vice presidents on your team. They're all actually very talented, but 2 you can see are crushing it this year, and 1 is still struggling. You can use the Analytics Cloud to begin to understand what maybe is the secret behind the success of those 2 RVPs, and in learning from that, apply it potentially as something that can be used to improve the performance of that other RVP. And sometimes what you might learn is it might have to be with how they've optimized their resources and their team for their entire sales territory. Well, now the good news is if you're in that situation and you understand there's something you can do to actually improve the performance of your sales team by the way they're allocated, now you can with the new Enterprise Territory Management. With Enterprise Territory Management, you do not need to go to a propeller head to roll out your territories. No, you can do it yourself. You, the business person, you in sales. What it allows you to do is you can quickly define new territories. So whether you do territories once a year or once a quarter, or I know many of you may even like do it once a month, you can quickly align the right resources and skills across your entire sales team and optimize the coverage model so you get top performing territories. And then the other thing we've also heard from you is that you also continue to place so much emphasis on how you run your business through your sales forecast. And that's why we've continued to invest in ever more capabilities to make forecasting ever stronger in the Sales Cloud this year, specifically with new custom field forecasting in the Sales Cloud. With custom field forecasting, you can forecast on anything. So imagine you're a manufacturing company. Traditionally, maybe what you've done is you forecasted on revenue, units of product shipped. Maybe you've got a custom field, though, that represents margin contribution. Now, with custom field forecasting, you, in that example, can start to forecast on margin contribution. So those are some of the examples of what we're delivering, and now to actually see it all in action, Will, I'd like to invite you back to show us how you can drive your business with greater insight.
Thank you. So, in this second demo, it's a different character. Julie Dempsey, the VP of Sales at Zero Motorcycles. And I've got some questions about how we go to market. I'm wondering if we need to realign our territories. So let's take a look at a typical sales rep's territories. This is Mike Garcia. He's got a geographic territory. This is how we're organized right now. And that also means I've got 5 different industries. He's got 5 industries he needs to focus on. You got to wonder, maybe one industry would be better. Maybe industries would be a better way to do this, so he doesn't have to have a different pitch and a different solution for each one of these customers. And so I want to look, should we have an industry-based territory model? And the good thing is I can do that myself by leveraging the Analytics Cloud. So let's switch over to the Analytics Cloud. This is the dashboard. This is the dashboard. Pretend there's a dashboard on the screen. This is the dashboard that I use to run my business. It's got my open pipeline. It's got my close rate. It's got revenue breakdown by geography, product mix, and even inventory levels coming from SAP. They're all right there for me. And the best part is, it's not a static dashboard. It's totally interactive. So if I click on one of those regions, the rest of the data updates for me. So it shows me the revenue by product for just that region and the inventory levels for just that region. So I could go a level deeper without ever leaving the screen. But what I came to do today is to go see if we should organize our industries by industries on our territory. So let's explore our current territory model. This is our geographies we work in right now, and this is the revenue per geography. Let's look at this data differently. Let's go look at it by industry. We'll take off geography there. These are the industries we focus on. Now, let's go focus on our top 2, emergency services and law enforcement. Let's just drill in on those. And let's add back in geography so we can see within each industry what's a geographic breakdown. Now, this is the way I like to look at the data, But our head of marketing likes to look at the data in a stacked bar chart. And our head of manufacturing likes to look at it in pie charts. That's okay, because I can make them all happy with the Analytics Cloud. Now let's go back to the way I want to see the data, because I'm the one doing the analysis here. And let's add in close rates. So now we're looking at, for each industry, a geographic breakdown and then the close rates. And let's zoom in on those close rates. There's something very unusual happening there. We've got one geography that's got a 32% close rate for this industry, and another one's got 19%. And I'm thinking to myself, if we organized around industries and took those best practices from where we're doing really well in this industry, we could really have a huge impact on our revenue. So what have I just done there? I just did a sophisticated analysis on our, on our data here in the Analytics Cloud, and I didn't have to, with a large data set, and I didn't have to wait for IT to build it for me. I didn't have to write any code. I just did it right now in about 90 seconds. So let's clean up some of this stuff. Let's take off the geographies and some of those metrics and just look at those industries. These are the industries we want to organize our territories around. But how do we make this real? How do we make this live in the system? And that's where the new territory management comes into play. So let's switch over here. This is a territory model that we've defined based on those industries we just analyzed. But it's in planning stage. We haven't made it live. So let's drill in on one of those territories, law enforcement. And when we drill into that territory, there's a series of assignment rules. And we just run those rules, and when you run it, it goes out and it figures out what accounts belong in this territory. We can see how many got assigned, and we can actually view the list of accounts that got assigned. If we're happy with the results, if these look right, now I want to make this live in Salesforce. So let's go back to that model, and all we need to do is hit that activate button, and we make it live in the system. All your accounts get realigned. It doesn't matter if you have channel partners, direct sales reps, overlays, all with different territory coverages. We'll figure it out and get the right account assigned to the right people so that they have access to it. Now let's go finish up by going back to Mike Garcia's territory and take a look at what his territory looks like now. He's got a bunch of different areas he's got to work in, but you'll notice he's only got one industry to focus on, law enforcement. So he can hone his message and optimize his close rates around law enforcement and ultimately make more money. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Will. So it's one thing to kind of see a demonstration of what it means to drive deeper understanding, but we're very fortunate that we've got customers that are actually doing this in their own business. And they're not just customers that are trying to get ahead. In many cases, they're customers that are already ahead, customers that are number one in their industry. And we're very fortunate to have with us today one of those customers. It's a company called L'Oreal. Please join me in welcoming Michael Lorraine, President of Active Cosmetics at L'Oreal, to Dreamforce. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. So, you guys have a very sophisticated model in terms of how you go to market. I know you're number one already, but what's your strategy and vision for how you connect to your customers?
Yeah, it's a great question. When we look at we have 42 brands across the world, and when you look at a brand specifically like a SkinCeutical, so SkinCeutical is the #1 medical dispensing skincare brand around the world, #2 in the US, and it's a B2B model. We sell directly to plastic surgeons and dermatologists. What we don't know is we don't know who their patients are. And so I was having a dinner number of years ago with a plastic surgeon, and well-known, and he was talking to me. I said, why did you get into this industry? And he said, well, what do you think? And I said, well, of course, the money. He didn't discount that. But he said, literally, I want to change people's life. I want to help their self-esteem. I want to take their lives to the next level. And I can do that. And I'm a clinician that I can use with my hands. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to run a business. I didn't go to business school. And I want to know, why can't you do that for me? And there was a moment in time at that dinner where I said, that's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me to partner better with that physician, but more importantly, it's an opportunity for me to truly learn who my patients are. Okay. Who is she? What type of products does she want to use? What engages her? And so that's really the opportunity and the vision for the future for our customers.
So your model too, so if you play this out, you've, I think, maybe traditionally been like a B2B oriented company, but really this is like going out yet another level, B to B to C. Like, how do you start to address that new level and that challenge that comes with it?
Yeah, we looked at it in two ways. So we look at it in the internal side. with our sales force, with our marketing team, with our education team, how do I set up a foundation that can establish the growth into that growth? Because it's a different role for the organization if we're going to go ahead and become business partners, not just product providers.
Okay.
So we really leverage things like e-learning off of Salesforce. We do a lot with Chatter. We do a lot with the Salesforce platform, but took it to the next level as far as our content library and everything. Then once we had that in place, we looked externally. How do I then take this platform and deliver it where I become the business manager? I'm the practice manager for them. So I'm speaking to their patients behind the scenes, still for that doctor, but I'm running promotions for them. I'm speaking to them not just on my products, but I'm speaking to them about their entire procedure, their procedures. They do Botox injections. Yep. They do facelifts. They want to go ahead and sell more than just products. So how do I do that in a promotion and animation, and then educate them, and then in turn create a B2B to C loyalty program that keeps them loyal to the practice as well?
Got it. So this is like a whole kind of like holistic approach to like engagement, really. So engaging not only with your own salespeople and your own employees, but engaging actually with those physicians and estheticians. I mean, how do you drive that engagement?
Yeah, it's really tied to, I think loyalty is a big part of it. Okay. I feel loyalty has swayed off course a little over the years. And to do it, you have to really engage them in a different level that we've ever done before. So information is flowing freely. You have the Amazons of the world who are in the beauty space now. So it's got to be much more than, hey, here's a product at a good price. It has to be what comes with it. What's the experience of that product? And it comes with the physician's touch, what they provide on a service level. And then I got to capture that in some sort of technology platform that I can deliver it to them on behalf of the physicians, because that's not what they want to do.
Yeah, well, that's a great example of the power of a community to really engage in a whole new way. Michael, I gotta congratulate you. I mean, the stuff you guys are doing at L'Oreal, it's one thing to be number one, but to transform an industry, it's phenomenal. So congratulations on the success.
Thank you.
I'm happy we're able to play a part in that.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us at Dreamforce. And what I love about that story is this notion of engagement. This is one of the biggest things to tap into that so many of you are looking for. And this means engaging not just your salespeople, but your prospects and your customers and all the other employees in the organization. But I got news for you. You know, I like to think of Dreamforce. This is the Illuminati coming together. But if you go outside Dreamforce, a lot of companies, they struggle with engagement. They struggle at engaging their customers. 2/3 of companies out there really don't have a meaningful understanding of their customers and their needs. And if you go inside the walls of those companies in the US, you know what? 70% of US workers don't even feel engaged at work. But there is good news behind this, because companies that are getting into this and understanding it and solving for it, they're seeing some very, very significant benefits. Of course, with a better understanding of the customers and their needs, they see higher customer satisfaction. Better engaging with employees and their needs and desires and aspirations drives higher employee productivity. But at a very meaningful level, it also drives real results for the business to the tune of 22% improvements in profitability. And so what we're doing this year with the Sales Cloud to help you drive increased levels of engagement is a couple of very amazing things. The first is focused on how you can empower salespeople, which all of you have been telling us you want to do, to better engage their own customers. And with that, we're introducing the new Sales Reach. Sales Reach empowers every sales rep to connect to their prospects and customers by giving them a marketing machine in the palm of their hand. With Sales Reach, what every sales rep can do is they can become their own marketer by taking advantage of targeted micro campaigns that they can send to prospects and customers. What they can also do as a Sales Reach is get real-time alerts notifying them when one of those prospects or customers has actually responded to an offer, gone to the website. And so many salespeople today want to become the focal point for the community in their own region and their own territory they serve by bringing together like-minded prospects and customers. And communities is also embedded as a part of Sales Reach. But what we also realize is that engaging as a rep is about also engaging the rest of the selling team in your company. Every sales rep quarterbacks that entire team that you use to engage with your customers, and that means pulling together not just the sales team, but everybody in the organization. That's the key to driving sales performance. Work.com, we continue to make significant investments in the year ahead to drive that home and make it a success. We now have in Work.com new coaching alerts. Also in Work.com, new skills. So if you're a sales rep working a complex deal and you need a product specialist or some other special knowledge, you can easily search and find that person elsewhere in your company quickly and easily. And of course, when that person makes an amazing contribution and helps you win the deal, what do you do as a rep? You acknowledge them, you reward them. And yes, you can do it with a bottle of wine, but now with Work.com, you can also do it with the new open rewards. So, to come to life, this whole notion of engaging customers and employees, I can think of no better way to do it than inviting our very own queen of pipeline to the stage, Jamie Domenici. Jamie, welcome.
Thanks, Mark. Now, this is our final demo, and it's all about how you can engage better. So let's look from the perspective of Mary Patel. Mary's a sales manager who works at Zero Motorcycles. Now, Mary has a big team with big numbers, and she's always on the go. She runs her business from her phone, and she always starts on today. Here she can see everything she needs in one place: her direct reports, her most important metrics, and her schedule. So it looks like she has a one-on-one later today with Alicia. Now, prepping for one-on-ones when you have a big team, it can take a lot of time. It can be kind of a pain because it's almost like having a second job. Well, not anymore, because Work.com makes it so easy. You can click right on your rep's name, you can go right to their coaching page, and here, Work.com identifies performance gaps for you. And it goes as far as creating an agenda. And you don't have to search around for information anymore, because everything that you want to track, you can pin right here. Now, Work also tracks activities. It's kind of like a Fitbit for your sales reps, but instead of tracking footsteps, you're tracking how many emails they sent or how many phone calls they made. For a manager, this allows you to set goals. And for a sales rep, this is always going to motivate you because you're going to want to move to the top of that leaderboard. Now Mary feels good about her one-on-one, but she wants to see what's going on with my team. She clicks right over to the Insights page. And here, Mary can see her metrics, but Work.com actually takes it a step further. It actually does analysis for you. So instead of saying, here's your quota, it says, here's your 3 reps that are actually at risk of missing quota. Or instead of saying, here's your pipeline, Work shows you, here's who's at the top of the leaderboard, and here's who's at the bottom of the leaderboard. So now as a manager, you know exactly where to focus your time. Maybe one of the coolest things from Work.com are these coaching alerts. Work.com actually analyzes all of your team's information. It identifies the performance gaps, and it creates a prioritized list for you. You know exactly where to focus your time. So look, Mike Garcia, he's one of Mary's reps, and it looks like he's 30% below his pipeline target. Ouch, not good. But Mary can click right on this alert, and Work, it's not just finding problems, it's actually helping you solve them. So Work is saying they should create a campaign. Mary thinks that's a great idea. She clicks right on the coaching note. She tells her rep, Mike, hey, your pipeline's looking pretty bad right now. So I want you to use Sales Reach, create a campaign, and start generating some pipeline today. She clicks send, and the advice goes right over to Mike. Now, this is an entirely new way to coach. And you can empower your managers to manage faster and smarter. Now, let's change perspectives. Let's look from the perspective of Mike, the rep that Mary just coached. Now, Mike looks down on his phone, and he sees that his boss has sent him a coaching alert. Immediately, he thinks, oh no, what did I do? But he opens it up, and he realizes Mary is suggesting that he creates a campaign. Now, in the old days, this would have been hard. Mike would have called up his sales or his marketing team and said, hey guys, I need you to find everybody in my territory, create an email, make it sound like it's for me, and send it over. And what would have happened? A bunch of people in a territory that weren't interested necessarily would have got an email 2 weeks later, and it would have been from marketing, not from the rep. It's really impersonal, and it means the rep doesn't have the opportunity to create immediate impact. Well, now that is all changed. With Pardot Sales Reach, reps are empowered to reach the right person at the right time with the right message. So where does it start? It starts by looking at your active hot prospects. A rep can now click on this, and they can see that that Pardot knows what their hot leads are doing and actually notifies the rep in real time. So imagine, you're a rep, you have a bunch of leads, one of them actually goes onto your website and looks at your pricing and additions page. You are now immediately notified, and you can reach out to that person in real time. This is an entirely new way to create pipeline, and it empowers your reps to connect in a much smarter way. Now, it's Dreamforce, guys. So I think we should do it just a little bit bigger. Instead of just showing you the demo, I'm going to make you part of the demo. Let's actually use Pardot to give away that Zero motorcycle. Anybody want to win a motorcycle? Anybody? You want to win a motorcycle. That's right. So when I click send, everybody now who pre-registered has been added to a campaign. And when I click send, one of you in the audience is going to receive an email letting you know that you just won that bike. Are you ready? They're ready. All right, Henry, let's click send. Okay, check your email. It's going to take a second to get the email to you. Linda, why don't you come back up and join me on stage?
Yeah. All right, those corporate email servers are chugging away. Chugging and chugging. Anybody have the golden ticket yet? All right, anybody have the golden ticket? You do. You do. All right. Come on up here. You have it. Awesome. I can see you on that motorcycle. What's your name? Tillman Hudson. Awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. We're
Let's
so
go
happy
get your
for
motorcycle.
All right.
Congrats.
Well, there is so much more to come at Dreamforce. We've got more sessions. So we just gave you a taste for some of the new products. We've got a Relate IQ, Pardot work, and data keynotes coming up later today. Visit us over at the Sales Hub. You can take a selfie if you didn't win that motorcycle. And of course, we'll see you at the campground. Have a great Dreamforce, everybody. Thanks so much for coming.